spectator has an innate sense of who he's going to find allegiance with.
Negan and Alpha.
Hello everybody, welcome to Be Seen. I am Brandon and this is Comic Conversation. Not much of a conversation if I'm by myself. So welcome back to the show. She is the co-host of Belly the Beast podcast. And she's my girlfriend and it's the mighty Alicia.
It is a joy to be back.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Well, we had such a good time last time, had to bring you back. We're talking about The Witcher.
Yes.
That was
Talk to go into your Witcher.
Yeah, and the Netflix series is out. We enjoyed it. So good.
Yes.
Do you have any experience with The Walking Dead? Have you seen the show?
No.
Played any of the Telltale video games?
No. The Telltale video games look pretty interesting. I'm a gamer, so that's where I first came across The Walking Dead. But I don't like zombie stuff, so there was really no point in following The Walking Dead, playing any of the video games, following the show. Zombies creep me out. Stop trying to bite me.
But what about High School of the Dead though? You absolutely watched High School of the Dead.
That's an anime, and I've always felt like drawing is a really safe medium to talk through like violence and weirdness. I enjoyed watching it as an anime, and if you think about it, it was always going to be an anime because there isn't really a cartoon that features zombies as a thing.
Right.
So that's not like a cartoon topic. So it's just like, it's a manga that would discuss something of that nature.
But the American culture of animation just doesn't really...
No.
It's an expensive medium. It's expensive art form.
And animation here, for the last couple of decades, has largely been geared toward children. There is a huge association with cartoons and kids.
Yes.
We're only just now turning the corner back once again toward cartoons that are geared toward adults, and so it's just like, I don't know where zombies would feature into that when most Western cartoons are talking to children.
It's true, but here we are. It's nice to know that we can still have the beautiful art form that is zombies.
Yeah.
The beautiful art form. Gaze upon the beautiful art that is zombie.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things.
Gaze upon The Walking Dead.
That's one of the things I appreciate with The Walking Dead and comic books in general, because I feel like there's so much that we can get out. And as a novel reader, book reader yourself, I'm sure you completely agree. We just get so much more literature that we don't really receive on the television.
Yeah, and I also always feel like when you take a written medium and transform it into a video, that there's some quality that is lost. So it's just like, yeah, I was actually thrilled to read The Walking Dead. I was surprised by how good I found it. I got to about halfway through it and I was just like, I see why this is a show.
Yeah, and the show's still going on.
Yeah.
They've passed 10 seasons. I feel like they're on 11 now.
Wow.
I could be wrong. But they're still Fear the Walking Dead. The last decade has been pretty much... It was almost like a competition between Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. Like, what show are you? My show is better. That was one of the things...
Supernatural lost out so early.
I don't know. Supernatural has survived them all. They're only now wrapping up. And you know what? Their fan base, pretty happy.
They fell off for a long time, but you know what? I feel like they built Walking Dead up a lot.
As bad as some episodes of Supernatural can be, Supernatural fans have stuck with them. And one of the things I think Supernatural works out very well is that they acknowledge some funky ideas that maybe didn't work out, and they give a little wink to the camera, a little break to the fourth wall now and then by acknowledging, hey, remember this thing that happened that we never talked about again? They reference themselves a lot.
I like when a show doesn't take itself too seriously. That's beautiful.
And Supernatural's also giving me some great music. But
we're not talking about Supernatural.
But Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, that seemed to be like the battle, like the battle of the memes. It was always like Game of Thrones fans just talking about your show sucks. Like, this is a really good show. Game of Thrones sucks. And then the way Game of Thrones ended on like that whimper was just... If there were any like...
Talk about coming in like a lion and exiting like a fucking lamb. Like
Oh,
we
Lord.
we entered like Lannisters and exited like the Knight of Roses.
Oh
Lame.
man.
Lame. Just,
But thankfully this thing has always been consistent. It's a beautiful book. And thanks to Walking Dead, Image, I learned, had sold the most graphic novels, like made the most money on graphic novels, top seller in the last decade.
wow, go Image.
Saga's a big part of that. They've got a lot of great comics coming
Now
out.
Image, if you'd like to
But,
sponsor us, you may.
I love how all of my guests just want to help get me sponsors. This is...
Reach out.
This is like, it's not me, although I've added quite a bunch of you on LinkedIn. You know, I'm very grateful. Thank you, Image, if you're watching. This book has been consistent. This is your first glance at it. This has been my first time in a while going back. So, what do you think about our main protagonist, our hero, Rick Grimes?
Oh. That's funny because it's weird. Rick didn't leave like a lasting impression on me.
Really?
Like I had to think for a second. Like, who the fuck is Rick Grimes? Like he's the main character. Like it didn't. Okay. So Rick bothers me for right now for one reason and one reason alone. It doesn't feel like he's driving the forward action of the story. It feels like the story is happening to him. Mm-hmm. And I need there to be something more. I feel like this whole book, and it's a thick volume if you look at it, but it was all exposition. Like, and stuff happened. It was interesting. But it's like, Rick's reactions specifically were like not the most interesting part. I also think he's kind of an idiot because it's just come on, because it's just like, bro, you wake up out of a coma that you've been in for however long. You discover the world's overrun by zombies. Okay, I'm feeling all of your reactions. You're doing surprisingly well. Although I don't buy that you could hop up out of your hospital bed after however long and just be running around. Clearly the people who wrote this have never actually been bedridden because, baby, if you stay in your bed for more than 4 consecutive days, you're not running anywhere. So he would have died first and foremost, but
let's give it a little liberty. Let's give it a little liberty.
Giving it the liberty there. You pull up on this camp, run by this guy who's your best friend, and he's just super chill with your wife, and you think that it's innocent. An older man straight up walks up to you and is just like, bro, this dude is clearly in love with your wife. He wants to be clapping your wife's cheeks. You need to separate him and your wife. And it's just like, he's just like, no, we're best friends, man. You don't know what you're talking about. He knows what he's talking about. That man is old. Old men don't exist in the world this long and get to be old without knowing some damn thing. When an old man comes to you and pulls your coat and goes, son, I think that boy wants to fuck your wife. You take that.
Take that.
You take that.
That's a gift.
That is a gift. You go, wow, thank you, old man. Mind your business. And then you address the man who wants to be balls deep in your wife. Like, Rick is a fool.
But this is his
and now
best
shorty
friend.
pregnant. The very first question I asked, whose baby is that? Is it Rick's baby? Or is it the baby of old homeboy? The world may never know. And it took them really too long to ask that. Like, the old man this old man is my down-ass man. Like, I am the old man.
Shout out to Glenn. Oh, not Glenn. Dale.
I forget his name. Yes, Dale. Dale shuffles over. And like something like 80 pages later, it took him way too long to shuffle over. And he's just like, I don't know whose baby that is. I'm not accusing you of anything. But if it's not my son Rick's baby, you shouldn't tell him. And I was just like, oh, she gonna crap. You know she came to me.
I think Dale was a little more
always
discreet.
laugh.
I think Dale was a little more discreet. No, but that's alright. So looking at Rick.
I'm paraphrasing the Stella Adler technique.
Looking at Rick And you're right. I don't actually disagree with the assertion that the story is happening to Rick.
Yeah.
He's not driving the story.
No.
His readers are kind of following his footsteps as the world follows around him. As the world kind of happens to him.
Yeah.
But you have close friends. If your close friend was to tell you that, hey, you seem like a nice person. I don't really know you. You seem nice. And this other person has been looking out for, well, me, because I'm your boyfriend. But I think that person's not happy that you're back. You're just gonna believe them over your best friend?
Absolutely. How long have I been in that goddamn coma? You wanna fuck my man? Come here and let me fuck you up, and let's see how happy you are that I'm back. Oh, how you doing? How long have I been gone? I see you've been taking care of Lewis. How well have you been taking care of him? Do you know the size and shape of his beef? Because if you do, we have a problem. And it turns out, she knew the size and shape of that man's beef, so it was a problem. He should have asked more questions.
Hold on, how does she know? Hold on, you just took a hypothetical. And now she knows.
That was not a hypothetical. They definitely had a sex scene in this book.
Oh, okay. You're saying that Lori knew the shape and size of
Rick's
Shane's
homeboy's beef.
Okay.
She knew.
I was like,
forget their names. I read really quickly. So actually what happens is the names make no impression on me by the time I get to the end of the novel.
I got like a little like sweaty and just like, hey, what's happening? She's lost in this hypothetical question.
I'm definitely not. I'm operating with cannon back.
Your best friend does not know the shape and size of my beef. Who's she?
But Lori knows the shape and size of Shane's beef. And that's what I'm addressing here. Rick is a fool who should have asked Shane more questions. Do you know what my lady Velvet looks like? Because if you do, we have a problem. And it turns out that he did, so whose baby is that?
This story went places real quick. I didn't expect
there was a lot of drama in The Walking Dead. I said I liked it.
I didn't. Yes, there was, man.
It was very like Power with a backdrop of zombies.
I have to like fast forward now. Where do I pick off now? Okay.
So I've been skipping around. It was very interesting. So I'm
have
to get to the juicy bits.
So those juicy bits.
Just like Shane, while Rick wasn't looking.
Let's go backwards for a second. Let's just go backwards.
I'm sorry.
Let's go backwards.
Talk
about some. But before anybody got to any juicy bits and we found out about it.
You know who knew? Old man.
Old man knew. But Rick was lost in the city because he didn't even know where's the right way to go. He didn't know.
This fool should have
I'm gonna go to the city.
He would have woke up, cut out his bed, a zombie would have ate him, and that would have been his story. I'm surprised they didn't find him before that.
He winds up pretty much cornered, needs to escape. The guy who finds him, Glenn.
I have so many questions about Rick's origin story, actually. Who is treating you? How did you just wake up? What happened to the drips in your bag that's attached to your vein? Did those just run out? Who's been changing this? The zombies attack people by smell. You telling me you was smelling not like you smelled like a zombie in your bed and nobody asked you to watch?
You know, I never considered that. He was just stinky.
Baby,
and that's why.
How did he not get eaten? I have questions.
I just thought the zombies were locked away. Like,
no, he opened the door, he went down to the lobby, and it was just zombies G-macking in the whole
down in the lobby. He wasn't in the lobby.
These kind of zombies don't know how to find stairs. The hospital was overrun with the zombies. Once the zombies are in the space, that is a zombie space.
Alright.
Like, this is why I don't like zombie things. Like, zombies only work one way. If there's a zombie in a space, we either have to murder the zombies. Zombies come and they go burn and they eat you, and then you're a zombie, and now there are two zombies going burn at things, and then they bite other people, and then they become zombies.
Yes.
It's like a contagion. It's like the coronavirus. You have to just you gotta get rid of zombie zero. You gotta get rid of patient zero, that is zombie one. You gotta just club that guy, or just take his head off, or just like crossbow him.
Not the camera.
Just crossbow him. And like
Tron, poor guy.
Like, it has to happen. Otherwise, you're doomed. Once a zombie gets into the space, it is a zombie space unless the people kill the zombie.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Well.
So, the hospital was a zombie space. I'm trying to figure out how this living man started off in a zombie space
Well, he was
without being eaten.
He was in the tutorial of the game. He was. We
They
still
don't
have to
do
learn.
that in books.
They don't.
No.
I mean, they don't do that here.
And see, that's what bothers me about it. It did feel like the tutorial stage in the game, except it's a comic book. I'm just like, no. This is a writing medium. You have to answer these questions. You can't just leave bubbles in your cheesecake like this.
Well, perhaps the zombies could not find the stairs. Perhaps they did not know how to push the elevator button. I want to get, I rewound and then I round too far back.
How much of their humanity do these zombies retain?
I rewound
Because if they're
and then I
supposed to have actually once been people, I don't believe that. They still have enough motor functions to walk around and go brrrr at you when they want to eat you. So it's just like you should remember elevators. I don't know.
Well, it seemed like
they
seemed like they moved in the direction of where the nearest sounds were. And Rick was nowhere around them to make sounds at.
You know what?
He wasn't even making sounds. He was making comatose.
I assert that is bullshit. If they are attracted to sounds, Rick should have died. You stayed in a hospital with me overnight. They're not quiet places. He was hooked up to something. It would have been beeping every hour on the hour. The only reason he got his sleep is because he was knocked the freak out.
Perhaps there's other louder sounds where the zombies were.
Okay. I don't buy it. I think it's BS.
I just feel like we're paying.
I want them to answer these questions.
It feels like you want Rick dead, and that's such a shame because he's a nice guy. See,
he's too nice. He's too nice for this world full of zombies. This world full of zombies will break Rick, is how I feel.
We'll see. We'll see. We're still on volume 1.
He's a soft man
and
you're
you're expressing a lot of emotion, so I can't wait to see where you are on book 2.
I'm thrilled about it. I'm like mad you didn't show up with book 2 immediately.
I had to carry it here. Oh man, my back, it hurts. Let's focus on the one I did carry. So, book 1. So book 1. Once again, in the city, found by Glenn.
Yes.
Glenn gets him out.
Glenn the old man?
No.
Oh, Glenn is the guy who collects the toilet paper.
Yes.
Okay.
That is who Glenn is and what he does. He collects toilet paper.
A necessary job.
Would you ever see yourself being the Glenn?
No, that is too No. Not because his job is not important or because he's not whack. He's too valuable. I'm not agile enough to do Glenn's job. Listen, I got fat hanging off me in places. I am asthmatic. I am soft. I am squishy, okay? In your party of people, I am the mage because I have lots of brains, and if you hit me, I will instantly faint and go comatose. I am not that guy. I am soft. I need to be protected. I have a really good plan, and I know what we should be doing, and I can aim a gun and shoot. That's it. No, I can't do your job. If the zombies find me, I'm fucked. Also, I'm very scared. Prone to asthma attacks.
I think I'm a bard. It's not really useful to run a zombie. They're like,
I don't know. Maybe you could just soothe the savage brain-eating beasts.
I don't know. We'll see.
Burn.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn the harp. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So yes, Glenn gets him out. That was fun because it's nice knowing that there's other people out there. Not that Glenn wasn't the first person we met. We did see someone else over in the original compound that he was at, where he returned to his home, found somebody in his neighbor's house. He thought it was his neighbor. Forgot dude's name right now. We'll get back.
Was it the black guy?
Yes.
Yes, the black guy. I didn't trust him at first.
How do you trust anybody? That's another weird thing. Like this is.
I also think he's too trusting.
It's tough. I mean, when your best friend, because it turns out you're right, was looking at juicy bits. It's after that, I think trust is out the window. That was your best friend. So it's.
He didn't even address that. Also, he needs to deal with his feelings because he didn't even address that. He was just like, oh, I mean, I guess I was wrong about that, but it's a zombie apocalypse. It's okay, babe. We'll just move on. 2 scenes later, I'm pregnant. I'm sure it's mine. Let's just move on. What?
Well, I think there's a lot to think about because this is all still very new. Not to say that he shouldn't address it immediately, but
immediately. It's a zombie apocalypse. You don't have time to be having leftover spare feelings that you have undealt with.
It's tough because when you look at it page to page or issue to issue, it's easy to separate. When you think about it as day by day and how long apart did these things happen, it's like, here's this news. Also, this person just died in a zombie attack. Sorry, Amy. Damn.
I felt bad about that.
You know, it's...
She should have definitely owned her dude. Like children or no children. See, children mess you up, man. What sex? For adults. Go to sleep.
It's... You know what? That's another thing. How do you address these things in the zombie apocalypse? Like, how do you darling, children in the apocalypse? Is that something? When this coronavirus hits us, are we bringing children into this world?
This is what you have to happen. This is what you have to do. That little T-shaped device inside your uterus will save you during the zombie apocalypse.
You know, I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that when they think about their zombie apocalypse.
Nobody plans for this. See,
sex is a long-term thing.
Come on.
And you really have to think about, well, yes, condoms are good, and dental dam has its uses, but long-term. I think this is the second episode in a row where dental dam might have been brought up. I'm not sure. This is a comic book show, by the way. It is interesting because the comic book does raise these questions. It's less about the zombies. The zombies are kind of like the backdrop.
Yes, I enjoyed that about it, and that made it much more bearable to read. It wasn't every 4 seconds a zombie is going burns and like devouring something. I really don't want to see that. Right? They're quiet. They're just like, and they sort of only attack people that are near them. They're much more like homeless people than zombies.
Oh Lord, that's a take. They don't seem to. They're not in every page, and I do appreciate that.
Yes.
But they're more of almost a political inconvenience because they lead to conversations like, do we move this camp?
Yeah.
And
do we move this camp conversation was ridiculous.
So before the attack happened, did you agree with Rick? Like, because this was now seemed like a challenge of leadership almost. Shane was already...
I thought that wasn't Rick's place to assert. I don't know, because it's a weird situation. Continue your question, I cut you off.
Well, you're basically getting to it. Shane seemed to be kind of leading the troops, so to speak. Being... Kind of operating from the same place as Rick is that he's a cop as well. He's a big dude.
First of all, that would disqualify you from leadership in my group.
Hey, well, it didn't so much in that group. So he's there, and he's using his authority as an area of, I guess, expertise. And people seem to be following along just fine. Here comes Rick. Rick is saying we need to move. Before we saw what happens later, did you agree with Rick? You already said that you don't even think that's his place.
I did agree with Rick. In a normal scenario, though, I would assert that it was not Rick's place to bring up. You only just arrived at this group. The dichotomy and social settings are set up. You are not the leader. Fall back. But at the same time, it's not a normal situation. It's a zombie apocalypse. Everything is ratcheted up by 8 degrees. We have to protect everyone here from the brain-eating zombies. Being parked on the edge of what is essentially a large contained barrel of zombies is stupid. It logistically makes no sense. If this box contains a buttload of zombies, I'm not gonna park my camp here. That's dumb. The government is in shambles. They're not coming to save us if we... Away. Like, we gotta go. Like, it's not safe or sensible or factual or normal in any way And like Shane was clinging to the fact that like he was a cop and he felt protected by the government, and he was expecting and needing and relying mentally on daddy government to come in and save him, and that is how he was keeping his mental state together, which is valid. But that means that your leadership ability has been compromised. Spock and I would both agree on this. We've got to move the camp. And if you don't want to move the camp, this is a zombie apocalypse. And actually, the solution is to crack you over the head at night, kill you, throw you into a lake, and move the fucking camp.
So, murdering your best friend. Well, he did.
You boned my wife.
Yeah,
You are not my best friend. You are my
Rick
enemy.
still thought he was.
That was foolish of him again. By that time, old man Glenn, not Glenn, old man whoever, old man Rick,
Old man Logan? Old man...
old man someone, old man Dale had already told this fool that Shane was not pleased to see him back. 2 seconds later, you out here challenging Shane's leadership. Your girl Moody, you have had no vagina. It's time to move the camp. Like, Shane is not our friend. Shane, we gotta move the camp. No, the government's gonna save us. Bro, have you looked around? There's no government. The government's gonna save us. I would've been like, well, alright, bro, I feel you. No, the government's definitely gonna save us. And in the middle of the night, yo, like, we have to be serious now. There are zombies. You can't be making these dumb decisions around me. Like, no, we're killing that dude in the night.
Okay, so there's another topic that comes up. I think this is going to be like a tough one, like us coming from like a blue state, and we have a lot of feelings about guns. And guns is in itself a divisive issue in the United States of America.
The violence and the guns and the shootings and the elementary schools.
However, there's two instances I feel like where we're not seeing necessarily. It's not just about guns. It's going to be guns. It's the apocalypse. Also, this is a comic book show. There's going to be guns in almost every issue of anything I bring up.
I believe there was even a Pokemon caught holding a gun once.
Water gun, though. Or, I think so. It looked like a harpoon.
It did look like a harpoon.
But I think it shot water. I don't know. This ain't the Pokemon channel.
Anyway.
I should read some of those. But children. We got children with guns. 2 different points.
Little baby Billy.
I feel that I don't know if it's true, but I do remember the gentleman's name from earlier in the issue. His name is Morgan. And Morgan has a son. At some point, Rick goes and takes them to the police station to give them some weapons and, just some supplies so that they can be more secure in their own home. We see a moment there where Morgan's child asks, "Can I use this gun?" Like, he was like reaching for the gun. And Dad was like, "No!" But then, he says, "Hey, I thought I was old enough to do this." And the father asserts, "You are old enough, but with training."
Right.
I appreciate that. At the same time, where we never got to see his training. We did get to see Carl taking on hunting trip.
Yeah.
Do you feel, not necessarily like kid with gun, I think at the zombie apocalypse, you need to train
anybody who can walk.
But do you feel that maybe taking him hunting is maybe the smartest move in this environment?
Separating from the group is always a stupid move in an environment where there are a whole bunch of zombies around. But the idea that the kid needs training is not stupid. We should then go on a class-wide mission, I'm a teacher, to round up the students and the adults who are going to supervise them. If we're going to split the group, it should be 2 equal splits that divide enough actual fighters amidst both groups so that the danger is minimized. But I think we as a large collective should just go over here and train the kids to that, if that's what we gonna do.
It's interesting because it's hard to really schedule or plan like anything. Like, we don't really see 24 hours in a day. Well, there's women in the group.
They're not doing nothing.
They really weren't doing nothing.
No, they was laying around getting pregnant, cheating on their husbands, and eating up food. They weren't doing nothing. The women were useless. laying around just washing people's clothes. I mean, men can wash their own clothes, sis. Organize the trainings. When are the kids gonna learn how to use the gun? Stop objecting to the children holding guns because you're a woman, and schedule the gun training trip. Fools.
So, wow. Yeah, no disagreement there. Hey, I feel bad saying they were doing nothing, though.
No.
I'm sure some of them were. I felt like they took turns scouting up top. Not everybody had.
Everybody
You talked
was
about
scouting.
being squishy, and there's some squishy people in that group. Not everybody had the ability to be hunters, and I guess from a leadership thing, not many were looking like they were looking like they were willing to listen to anybody. You needed that credibility. I think that's where Rick, and regardless of your feeling about them being police officers, they're already used to directing that traffic.
And see, this is what I'm saying. That and it makes sense because in situations like this, you expect like rule of the fittest to emerge. Like if you've got like the loudest bark and the most training, you're going to emerge as the leader of the group. But actually, what you need in this situation is a tactician. Like, you need muscle to take out the zombies, and that's what the cops should be doing. As for what we should be doing, where we should be camped, who we should be training, when, which routes we are taking, where we're getting our water, what stops we are going to make as a nomadic team, you need a tactician. They should never be still. First of all, they need to stop looking for some place to fucking settle. That is a garbage move, okay? Settling, that is not to your advantage in this society. Like, you need to go back to freaking roaming in a very nomadic way. Settling is going to attract garbage, animals, diseases, gathering all these people so close together. There's not even running water in a lot of these places. So you're just clumping a whole bunch of people together who aren't going to do anything but have sex with each other. Then now you're producing children. You've got extra mouths to feed. There's no birth control. That's what you get for putting a cop in charge. You needed a tactician. You needed somebody with a brain. Sorry. We need to be traveling by waterways so that you nasty fuckers can wash. We need to be raiding.
Well, they got to wash. They were using Dale's camper.
Dale's camper.
It was using
an incubator for disease.
Hey, it was the only water they had.
It was.
You know,
they needed water.
Yep.
Water than paradise.
Mm-hmm. It might have been a nasty shower, but it was still better than
nothing.
Yep. Oh man. All right. Let's moving right along. We do see that. We do see that it comes to a head between Shane and Rick. And it doesn't even come to a head because
too long.
It doesn't even come to a head because Rick confronted him. Rick really wanted to believe this is my best friend. Like he would not hurt me. But it didn't look like.
What a pre-zombie apocalypse mindset.
But it very much looked like Shane would have got the best of Rick had Rick's son Carl not been there.
This is why you train the children.
That's right. Buddy.
He was inspecting your mama's juicy fruits. Take him out.
Just talking to my best friend out there. Just like, you know, I hope my friend takes you out too. My son takes you out too. Yeah. For no reason at all.
For no reason.
Yeah, just gonna let my son do that.
That sounds like the plot of a show. Like, it sounds like something Ron Swanson would say. Only the son of my best friend when time is to destroy me.
Yeah. Good old Ron. I'm surprised there's no Parks and Rec comic.
You were distracted.
Yeah. So we get to that, and that confrontation there pretty much leads to that's not the deciding factor, but it was from there, coupled with Amy's death, they finally decide, all right, there's no one to stop us from moving. We need to move. So we move along the road, we find some new people. We meet Tyrese and his daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. They stop into looks like a gated community. Things seem to be going along well. And then it turns out, nope, everybody in this gated community already turned. You cannot live in the gated community. In fact, the gate was closed not to keep people out, but to keep all those zombies locked in. That was rough. as they're running away.
I expected that. When they arrived at the gated cul-de-sac and nobody was manning the gates talking about get out of here, the interaction I expected to happen when they arrived at the gated community was they arrived at this picturesque gated community. All the people inside are like, better mind your business. And the people are just like, you need to let us in. And they're just like, there's not enough supplies for you in here. Get to step.
I think you're talking about Hershel's farm.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about when they rolled up on the gated community and this interaction did not happen. I was just like, Strap, don't go in there. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Except they strode right in like fools.
They are fools,
and then Allison died without getting beansed.
It's a shame when you don't get Venus.
And you could go out satisfied. Hey.
But it did look like someone was gonna get some penis, which I guess brings to the next juicy bit. Tyrese's daughter and her boyfriend.
Tyrese's daughter and her boyfriend are absolutely ridiculous, and I hate them.
It looked like
they're so young. I just want to strike them at every opportunity. I'm so with the parent. Like, it's annoying being so on the adult side. Like, oh, I don't even care that y'all want to have sex right now. It's zombies. Put your clothes on. Let's go. God, kids, what are you doing? Why are you up here with no clothes on? Get your ass.
And meanwhile, Lori's about to have a kid. Like we.
Yo, this is what I'm saying.
It's like this is what awaits you, Lori.
This is what awaits you.
Kids trying to have sex while there's zombies actively storming the castle.
Come on, you want to let this man storm your gates when there's zombies in the castle already? I can't do it. Like, and like the consequences are so visibly there. Like, I would not be able to do it. Like, I'm looking at you.
You couldn't get in the mood?
Not that. I would be in the mood and I would be like, you meet the pregnant woman who's about to fail. Tactically speaking, her pregnancy is a humongous move. That is a lose-lose situation. Her morning sickness is so early. So early. She's clearly delicate. She needs to rest all the time. They don't have time to rest. She needs to be in an environment that isn't filled with germs. They don't have that. When the baby needs to come out, then what? Then what? Then what? Who the fuck is going to cut the umbilical cord? And with what? What are you going to wipe the baby off with? Whoa, there's a lot of fluids involved in having a child. Who's gonna wipe the baby off after it falls out of there? That seems important.
Oh, we have 9 months to figure that out. You're for lucky.
What are we going to do to sew the lady back up who's going to be broken in several spots? What about the diaper she needs after having the baby? Because, newsflash, when you have a baby and it's a vaginal delivery, a lot of times things are torn and they send you home, and the other women who have had babies before, I advise you to grab as many free diapers in the hospital as you can because you will need them. What about that? How's she gonna be able to travel at speed with the group after her body's been destroyed? And after that, even if she's able to do all of that, how is she going to be able to have enough nutrients in her body to be a lunchroom for her kid?
Right,
now what?
So if you were part of Rick's group,
ridiculous.
You leaving the group because he's not getting rid of his wife.
No, I'd be trying to kill them both. You're too weak to see that your wife is a liability, and your wife is a liability for the whole team. Good night.
I've often said you were a villain.
Good night. My group would live. Get out of here.
But they're his group.
My group after your lady got pregnant. That is dumb.
Okay. It does seem interesting that they didn't really have this conversation. Like
everybody needs to have this conversation. We gotta suddenly be real candid about sex. Sex produces babies. We are living in a post-apocalyptic society where there is no birth control. Your pull-out game is not strong, young boy. Fuck what you heard. Okay? She can in fact get pregnant. All for the pre-cum. Don't listen to the noise in your head. Don't do it. Keep it in your pants. Learn about masturbating. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
These last 2 episodes have been really interesting.
Welcome back, baby. The mighty leash is here. Finally.
So the next spot that they go off to. Now we're in Hershel's farm.
Hershel's farm.
Now that's interesting because I already feel like I know your take on this. You gonna have to kill Hershel, weren't you?
Yeah. My thought on Hershel's farm was that Hershel was really sweet and that it was unfortunate that he was the only guy with a house. Because Hershel would have freaking died. Hershel was an idiot. Hershel should not have been keeping those zombies. I wouldn't have, the problem for me wouldn't have been killing Hershel. That would have been hands down our only option. We have to murder Hershel and take over his farm. This is where we're gonna stay. If we're gonna post up somewhere, he has running water. The problem is getting rid of the barn full of zombies that Hershel has accumulated without making too much noise. Also, the policemen, I feel, are leading the group astray with the use of guns. Guns are not a smart option in this world, and I don't know why nobody's addressing that. Stop shooting guns. They're too loud. They attract zombies. Get a crossbow. Get a bow and arrow. Cap these zombies, and let's go. I would have been trying to figure out after we murder Hershel and his daughter, because I don't need you coming for revenge. Oh, no, the zombies ate his 3 kids. That's fine.
He did have a daughter though. Yeah.
He had 3 kids and they all got eaten, I think. So after that, Hershel would have died. He wouldn't have had a chance to kick us off his farm. As soon as he said that he had a barn full of zombies, Hershel's life would have been mine. At that stage, his kids were still alive. His kids would have been meat, because I can't have y'all coming for me for revenge because your father needed to die. The barn full of zombies is a huge issue. If you burn the barn, there is a chance that it won't all burn at the same rate or at the same time, which leaves a funnel of escaping zombies. That's wrong. We can't do that.
You're already planning this out.
If we go into the barn guns blazing, we might attract other zombies from outside, which means we have to let a controlled flow of zombies out so that we can quietly dispose of them over the course of several weeks.
Okay. It's nice to know that I'm dating someone who's already got this all planned out. Not sure how I feel about the serial killing.
Only the stupid people. The intelligent will live.
The pregnant and the people that own the farm?
No, you can't be pregnant until we're way more set up. As the farm owner, I'm sorry you have to go, but you cannot be harboring zombies. You're a fool. You don't belong in this world. You were not gonna make it anyway. It's a mercy for me to kill you. It's a mercy.
I do love you. Not just saying that to convince myself that.
You're stuck with me now.
Help me.
After all, I've got this crossbow.
You have grabbed that way too many times. Both on and
I'm
off
obsessed
camera.
with this crossbow. Okay, so this is producer Joe's crossbow, and I'm like nuts about it. I'm gonna buy one. It's the ultimate solution. You just hang it on your wall. It will just look beautiful. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's my decorative novelty crossbow. And then when an intruder comes in, it's not decorative or novelty, you son of a gun. Get out of here.
You said decorative crossbow, and I'm already thinking about like these old infomercials when they used to sell the plates, and I'm like Elvis Presley crossbow. And just I'm lost. I just went down a tunnel of things I'm never gonna want to buy. Wow. Okay. Hershel's
This is
farm.
a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
I see that.
Hershel died.
So Hershel's farm.
Would have been Alicia's farm.
They've got the stable where they're keeping all the zombies.
No,
this wasn't even like the first issue. It seemed like he kept having issues with Hershel. Like it was numerous issues.
Because Hershel was an idiot.
Glenn sleeping with his daughter Maggie. That was the thing. That,
I see why Hershel was mad about that, but the kids got to be able to get their bone in too at some point, I guess. Just do it when I'm not looking.
And it came to a point where Hershel had to put down and kind of let Rick know. This is really the first time Rick's been contested, I guess, in like leadership. Before it was Rick doing the contesting, and even
doesn't feel good, does it, Rick?
And even though we had Tyrese join the fray, Tyrese wasn't a problem. In fact, he seems to be bros. We got a Shane replacement. with Tyrese there.
Look how easily the best friend was replaced.
But
Reasons why he should have been murdered earlier.
with Hershel, it's his farm. And you did say that Rick is either too nice or too trusting. With Rick, he's not storming Hershel out. And Hershel went and told you, I don't owe you anything. I've already helped you.
He is right about that.
And you've taken advantage of my hospitality.
He is right about that.
Now you were talking about killing Hershel, but if you're in Hershel's position,
No, Hershel was right. Hershel was right to be angry with them. Like, I didn't ask you to come here. Nobody sent for you. I let you come here. You decided you didn't like what I was doing. You're trying to bone my daughter. You've been eating my food this whole time. Get out. I am now short 3 children. And I'm tired. Now, 2 children, excuse me. I'm short 2 children. You could go. I get that. But we don't have time for these arguments. There's a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Hershel would die. Someone all 3 of his children.
Well,
The farm would have been mine, and the zombies would have been disposed of quietly over several weeks. Yo,
Rick,
I would have been figuring out if we could blend them up into some sort of perfume.
Rick doesn't do that, and we get a bit of foreshadowing of what to
Maybe
expect in the next one.
I expect
I
Rick
don't
to
know.
die.
I don't really know. In the next volume, it looks like the place they stumble upon is a prison.
Which means we have zombie inmates.
It's
Yay, zombie black
yeah, more than
people.
likely, if our experience from the hospital is any indication,
They
there's a
shouldn't
good
be
chance
heading
that there are inhabitants in there that are already zombified.
Zombies.
However, what about the appeal of being in this big fortified place, tons of room?
Oh, I get it. It's a fortified bunker. There's tons of room, and we can clean. And it's a smarter plan over Rick because they're not approaching the place thinking that it's zombie free. They're just like, no, this place is gonna be overrun with zombies. We've learned our lesson. Everywhere is overrun with zombies.
So he's improving.
Yes.
Our man Rick. All
Too
right.
slowly, but yes. If we can clean this place out of zombies, we might have a shot. But my thing is, you're not asking enough questions. You can see that it's fortified. You have to plan how you're going to break in. So this begs the question of how the zombies got inside. How did the zombies get inside? If the bunker is already fortified from the outside and you have to plan a point of ingress, that means that the zombies have an alternate plan of ingress, and I'm suspecting that's underground. Maybe going into the bunker is not a good idea. Maybe clearing it out is actually not possible. I don't know. I would be trying to send a scout team to see if there is a basement to this place. That's my first plan. I'm not even worried about the first floor.
Well, how big is their team? Let's actually think about that. We've done a lot of hypotheticals.
The size of the team.
But I know you've got Rick.
It would
Glenn,
be-
his son, his wife, Tyrese. His
I would send
daughter,
Glenn. You're good at
Chris.
this. Go.
You said team. Now we just narrowed it down to Glenn.
Glenn.
Just Glenn.
Glenn is the team.
Glenn is the team.
Go Glenn.
Bring back the toilet paper.
Get into the compound. Bring the toilet paper. Bring the basement schematics. But also toilet paper.
All right. Wow.
Bring the
This
basement.
has been a trip.
Yeah.
We have this is Walking Dead Volume 1. Super exciting. You're excited for number 2 though.
Oh, yeah.
I know I have it somewhere.
Can't
Gotta
wait to see how
dig
Rick-
through the crate and find my volumes. I have volumes of volumes. I have volumes of trades. I don't even have like a bunch of single issues. It's all hardcover. So I've got to find it. But I've already got it, so we're definitely going to do that.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe by the time we catch up in the reading, I can catch up to where they are on the TV show. You interested in seeing the TV show at all now that you've read it?
Should I be? I'm seeing a yes. I'm seeing a yes in the studio. I'd be willing to give it a shot. There's a lot of dramas here that excited me. They stirred my interests. I think Lori's home.
You know, personally, I have nothing to say about the hoeing necessarily, but I do feel that Lori is better depicted in the comic.
I
than in
have
the
plenty
book.
to say about the hoeing.
No, but I feel in the book she was not just Cohen, but also this kind of like a nag who played between the two characters, Rick and Shane, pit them against each other. It's like, oh, stop that! But don't stop that, protect me. But no, don't cause trouble, but watch my back. It's like, I don't hate you, but I don't like what you did.
Yo,
there's a lot.
And this is the thing.
And I don't think Lori was represented well in the TV show.
And even the interaction between Shane and Rick, who caused that? Lori. If only you had kept it in your pants, Lori, you were equally to blame as Shane. Everybody should be keeping it in. And a lot of what Lori is doing, the emotional yo-yoing back and forth. Pregnancy symptom, honey. She is a liability every which way but loose. What if she gets pregnant brain? You know that's a thing. You can stop remembering things. You can stop remembering things. It can be hard to follow directions, reach decisions, make important distinctions.
I was afraid you had a case of pregnant brain.
Shush. No.
I got very scared right now.
Stop it. It can.
What a way to find out.
Wow.
Mazel tov.
Hey
mom. Hey dad. How you doing?
It's a lie. I can scare my parents.
Okay. They don't watch this show.
My IUD is functioning.
I don't watch this show.
But anyway, it's just like emotionally she's wrecked because she's pregnant. Decision-wise, she's wrecked because she's pregnant. Physically, she's wrecked because she's pregnant.
I'm glad you're saying these things and not me. Lord, I get so much flack.
I'm probably gonna get flack. I'm sorry.
You will absolutely get flack.
But it's like, okay, it's a zombie apocalypse. Like, alright, like, I don't feel this way in normal parameters. You must protect women, and pregnant women especially.
Yes.
Murdering is not the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, peace is the way. But if zombies come up out the ground, every man for himself. I'm going to live. Like,
I respect
screw you people. I'm gonna live. Like, do you have birth control? Because if not, you're not the innocent. Not in my party. That would be the hardest part of my party, just keeping the people from fornicating.
I look forward to seeing the apocalypse group of this religious folk. Not really religious, the celibates. The celibates of the
Our
apocalypse.
religion is survival, baby. Come down. Join me in the church of we are.
I want to talk about the art for a little bit, because for me, this was interesting for me. Like, coming off of the superhero background that I grew up reading, the black and white issues are not something that I'm used to. So reading it like this and getting the first glance and seeing everything in black and white, at first I thought, not even at first, because almost immediately I was hooked, but I didn't think I would be.
And first of all, I knew I would be hooked because one, black and white movies are still good. Two, I'm a novel reader way more than I'm a graphic novel reader. Right. Any image on the page is like freaking Grady at this point. So it's still flush with images. There's so much story. Like, the fact that it wasn't colorized didn't make any difference to me. And in fact, when I remember the images from the story, in my mind, they're colorized. So,
right.
Doesn't even matter.
I had mentioned earlier that Tony Moore and Charlie Adler were the writers. Cliff Rathburn was helping. He contributed, instead of being like the colorist, because I guess that word wouldn't make sense. They refer to him as gray tones, because he's still filling in, helping add dimension and depth. But I feel like a lot of these issues, they had some like very big splash issues, like splash pages like this that encompass the whole page and like really like the horror elements here are not, they're not pretty, they're not. If you didn't know what you were getting into by page 2, you got it figured out. Like, oh, this is a very graphic, disgusting, beautiful drawings, but disgusting atmosphere that we're working with.
Yes. All of the art is incredibly well executed. Like it is, like the detail on it is like a lot, and I loved it. I particularly paid attention to that, and it's almost hard to like it's such a weird thing because I'm so text heavy. Like I want to absorb the text almost. And so for me, it's like my eyes are like passing across the images really quickly, but it's playing out like a movie as I'm reading it. And it's like the movie's already been storyboarded out. Like it would be so easy to make this a show. They have the shots literally lined up. Like this is wonderful.
I'm going to show another page here from early on. And this is what makes the whole team such a good team, because Kirkman doesn't actually need to write a whole lot.
Show the back cover.
Kirkman doesn't need to write a whole lot. He can just have a couple of words there for dialogue, and the rest of the page, the story will still be told just off of the artwork alone. Close-ups on Rick's eyes, and really him. You know, I feel like he was a good. I mean, any character that they gave us, I think we're going to get good reactions from. But since we're following Rick and we're following him from the beginning, he doesn't get to see how this epidemic started. He's walking in and everyone's already like this. So capturing his feelings kind of alone, he's the only one that doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
and no one explains,
it's. I'm not even sure if they know. All they give really is like a timeline. You know, he meets Morgan and Morgan tells him what he knows. You know, he comes upon the group and Glenn and Dale and Shane, they all tell what they know. But he doesn't know, but Rick off that doesn't know anything. And I just, everything from action shots like this, you know, getting clocked over the head with a shovel.
Yeah.
Whether it's him in the tank, the showing of the prison when they stumble upon it.
Yeah.
Just their use of darkness, light, and the covers is the one time they actually do get to mess around with little special edition covers. That's the only time we really do get to play with color. This is the only color you get when we look at the covers of the comic book itself. The artwork itself has been an inspiration for so many shots in the show itself.
I could see that. Why would you ignore a free storyboard like this?
It's been.
You don't is the answer.
It was definitely makes it a lot easier. You know, it's when you want to read something and you don't like what you see. You know, it can be harder to read. But this was so easy for me to breeze through, and especially since it's book one. So easy for me to get through this too.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a very enjoyable and quick read. I blew through this in like 2 hours.
I think the same. It's been so long. Like this is me, like going back to it, reading it. I really did go super quickly. So I'm glad that there's more for us to read. Like I already have them at home. We could go ahead and do that. So, Alicia, thank you for joining me again.
Thank you for having me, even though I say terrible things.
Nah, do it all you want. Yeah. But if I want to hear you say more terrible things, where would I find you?
Well, you can definitely follow us at Belly of the Beast, where I say fewer terrible things. You can find us on several different mediums for that. I think that I'm going to refrain from giving away my Instagram again.
Yeah, you don't need to go there, but you can see us at Belly of the Beast on Instagram.
On Instagram at Belly of Bob. That's on Instagram and Twitter. On Facebook, you can follow us at Bob's Beasts. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to podcasts, pretty much.
Pocket Casts. That's a thing.
Casts.
I didn't know. I'm learning. You can find us everywhere.
You can. And I'm pretty sure that I'll probably be back to have even more comic conversations.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm looking forward to us. Of course, you can reach me at Lewis or Brandon on Instagram and Twitter. You can hit up Comic Conversation at Comic Combo, COMICONVO. You can reach. Oh, thank you. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel. 2B Scene's got a lot of good things going on, so check them all out. And yeah, share with your buddies.
And if you especially like some of the terrible things that I say, feel free to hit the bell so that you know when I'm here and what more things that I might say.
Yeah, you want to take it from here? No? Alright, that's unfair, that's unfair. No, thank you very much, Alicia, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you had a great conversation with us.